Alright, just adjust this mic. Okay, good morning. As you are, by this point, well aware, I grew up with the Commodore Amiga. One of my just memories stuck in my head from, oh god, I can't even remember what year it is. I think it's like 1992, must be 1992. Was seeing a game in, I think it was Amiga format. It was either Amiga format or Amiga Power, because they're really the only two that I sort of dabbled with, magazine-wise. And there was this game called Flashback. It must have been Amiga format. There was a game called Flashback. And people were talking about how it was the sequel to Another World, which I liked, but was terrible at. And how it was going to revolutionize everything, and this was the Amiga's like crowning moment. And I'm like, I need to play this. So I dragged my dad to Stratford Shopping Centre, and inside Stratford Shopping Centre there was a WH Smith's, which was the only place you could buy computer games. That was it. One place, WH Smith's. So I pretty much had to, not plead with him, but I was like trying to convince him that this was a good purchase. Anyway, because my dad's was always into computer games from like the 80s, early 80s. So we picked up a copy of Flashback. The box was incredible. Like, the box was just such an amazing piece of artwork. It had a slipcover on the outside, which came off. The manual is still one of the greatest manuals of all time. It was a walkthrough of the controls, walkthrough of the buttons, walkthrough of all the keyboard commands, and then it turned into like a travel brochure for the planets that you were going to visit, and then it had adverts for the weapons you were going to use, and it had interviews with like people on the street, and some of the people that you would meet would have little like news clippings about them. It was genuinely amazing. I still have the box. I still have the original diskettes. I have lost the manual, but I've seen they're only like 13 quid on eBay, so I might pick one up. Anyway, Flashback was ported to everything. There is several versions of Flashback, of which I have pretty much all of them sat in front of me right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through Flashback from beginning to end. Not today, but as and when I have time. But every single level is going to be a different version. And I'm also going to look at two versions that one was never released. So there was a version of Flashback that was never released, but I have it in prototype form. And I'm going to look at one that should have never have been released. The reason this all came about is because last November, the 25th anniversary of Flashback happened, and it was ported to the PlayStation 4, and I knew nothing about it. It came out, and I didn't even know it was available. So I'm sitting there racking my brain thinking, this is one of my favourite games of all time. Why do I not know that it exists on a platform that I own? And my son, who was sitting in the corner, went, Red Dead 2? And I was like, oh my god, yeah, that's right. It came out at the same time as Red Dead Revolver 2. So, Red Dead Redemption 2, sorry. So, how would I know about it? Anyway, I'm emulating this on a stock A1200. However, and this is a big however, I'm emulating it at 800 times or 8-speed floppy disk reading for reasons. Okay, I'm using... This is obviously on the Raspberry Pi. This is on the Wild Pi. If you've seen my YouTube channel, you know that I build Raspberry Pi cases, and this is one of those cases. So yeah, I'm streaming this on the Wild Pi. What else? I'm using a PlayStation Classic controller with an extended cable, also which I built, also on my channel. What else? That's about it, really, and we're good to go. Let's have a quick look at this. Look at what we're looking at on screen. Look at this. This is the first thing that greets you. This is the only version. I'll point out the differences between the versions. This is the only version with this background as far as I'm aware. Maybe the DOS version had it. I'm not sure. But goddamn, look at it. And the box art was, look at this. And the box art actually has a scene from the second level on it, there's nothing to tell you what it is. Nothing to tell you at all what is going on. It's genuinely brilliant. Let's have a quick look at the options. Okay, there's a little bit of a zoom in there. Level normal. We're going to play it on normal, and even though I have a 2-button joystick, I'm going to leave it at 1 button because I've set up my own custom control scheme to put some of the keyboard shortcuts on the controller. Music test we're not going to do. Oh, that zoom in. Oh my god, this is 16-bit excellence here. Like I've already mentioned, this is from Delphine Software, the guys behind Another World, Out of This World if you're one of the Colonials. And it's essentially just, not a rip-off, but it's essentially heavily inspired by and influenced by Prince of Persia. So if you've played the original Prince of Persia, you'll kind of know what we're getting at here. Alright, so I'm just going to get started. I've waxed lyrical about this game for long enough. We're going to play through the entire game. Like I say, maybe not today, but eventually. Alright, let's pop in disc number 2. Okay, so I'm just going to go over to my floppy drive, so you can see my custom control scheme there. Okay, my floppy drive, disc 2, and you can see I've racked it up to 18 speed. Well, I don't want to do reset. What do I want to do? Resume. There you go. The only problem with Amiiberry is it does like to crash. Like, a lot. The old version didn't, but the new version does. Okay, so while I'm playing through this, I'm going to kind of be getting you up to speed. So there's an unconscious man in the jungle, and he just knocked something off that ledge. So, one other thing about Flashback is that, along with 1-1 from Super Mario Brothers, this might be the greatest tutorial level of all time. It tells you everything you need to know about the game in 20 minutes without any text on screen. That's how good it is. For example, you wake up here, you don't know who you are, you don't know what you're going to do, the controls are in the manual, but you've got no on-screen prompt, nothing. You can hear a beeping, but it's kind of muffled, and you're facing to the left. So you're like, okay, I'll go left. Yeah, don't go left. There's a big gap over there. You think, well, maybe I can jump it. And you fall down a hole. Let's see what happens when you fall down a hole. So you learn very quickly not to do that. So let's start properly. Okay, so starting from Flashback, I'm going to tell you, hopefully, how to get through the entire game without getting hurt as much as possible, and hopefully without dying. But we'll see. Hopefully. Hopefully. Okay, so this is a gentleman named Conrad Hart. Conrad Hart has woken up. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know where he is. All he knows is he's woken up on a ship and 2 guys with guns were chasing him. He then runs as fast as he can, grabs a bike, legs it out of this like space station. The 2 guys that were shooting at him jumped into a spaceship and flew over this planet. The planet eventually is Titan. You find out this is Titan, one of the moons of Saturn? Jupiter? Anyway, a moon. They shoot you down, you crash land. You still have no idea why they were chasing you, why they were shooting you. Okay. What you need to do is regain all of your memories. So again, this tutorial level shows you that there's something on this switch. Now, if you don't pick up this thing, this switch is still active. Again, one of the best tutorial levels of all time. Here's the thing with the Amiga version. I'm running this off diskette, like 3.5-inch floppy disk. With 3.5-inch floppy disks, every time you pick something up, you get this. Right. So, if you install it to the hard drive, you get cutscenes. I'm going to force turn them on, which it allows you to do. Let me just turn them on. So it's Control and C. Right, they should now be turned on. So every time I pick something up, I should have a cutscene, which again was on by default if you had it installed to the hard drive, but if not, you just had a black screen. Okay, the other thing Conrad's got is this gun. Infinite ammo. If you read the instruction manual, it tells you that it's a pistol that fires platinum fibers at a subsonic level. I don't know what that means. Right, so here we go. We're gonna go off to the left. Your first enemy, these guys. you learn that you can shoot across different distances, and if you duck and up, do this, the robot will put that little plunger up. We don't need to shoot that guy down there. We are going to be avoiding a lot of people. We're not going to kill everything. It's not a pacifist run, but we're not killing everyone. The other thing the Amiga did, and I think it's only in this version and maybe the PC version, is you had a zoom function. So, I don't know if you can see, on the bottom right-hand side of the screen is a little green flashy thing. And if I zoom in, I can use the mouse to go across the screen. See what I mean? And look down there. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to full screen it. Okay. Coincidentally, that little section down there we're going to go to and pick up that little green flashy thing. It's not on a lot of the ports. Okay, our first proper enemy. Okay, so we learn very quickly that these guys are blind, kind of, but are sensitive to sound. So we're going to pull out the gun. We're going to put it to one side. We're going to slide across, and we're just going to shoot him straight in the nads. Perfect. Right. If you have a gun out and you do a move, your moveset is now completely different. The biggest complaint I hear from people who play this game is that the controls are bad. The controls aren't bad. It's just you grew up playing Mario Brothers. It is once you. What? Oh, let's see if the. Yeah, there we go. Look, I've turned the cutscenes on. There we go. Perfect. Once you get it into your head that the entire game runs on a grid system, and that all you're doing, there's an invisible grid on the screen, and all you're doing is just working with that grid, the game becomes super easy. Okay, it's given us a stone. Let's open up our inventory. Talk very quickly about the inventory. The inventory is here. You can scroll through everything you've got. Most of the stuff you'll never need to use. The gun you won't need to use. The holocube I'm going to use in a second once I explain, what's going on and where we are. And also, if you press the fire button, does your score, which is kind of superfluous, and which difficulty setting you're on. We're doing this on normal. Right. Like I said, we're going to avoid a lot of these people. These are the first lot we're going to avoid. We're just going to walk along here. Drop down. He can't shoot us because there's a door in the way. If you throw the stone, which is what they were arguably wanting us to do, that stone would have landed on that switch over there, and it would have pulled out the bad guy, and he would have shot us, and all bad. What we're going to do is we're going to stand about here, where this door is, pull out our gun, and do a roll. We're going to blow that up, and we're going to roll back. Boom. Once you play this game for a long time, you can realise that you don't need to kill all the enemies, and also the enemies are really dumb. You can definitely do stupid things with the AI. For example, that guy can't touch me. I could stand here all day. See what I mean? All I've done is just walk into the screen. So now I'm just going to casually walk out the screen. Done. There's nothing he can do. Right. I'm going to go down here. Okay, again, brilliant tutorial level. What this is teaching us now is tool drops. If I drop down there, I'm dead. And if I drop down there without a gun, he's going to shoot me, and I'm also dead. What the game doesn't tell you is that there are automatic controls. One of them is you can tap the gun button while you're doing a roll, a jump, a hang, or a climb, and he will pull the gun out while doing that. So, to demonstrate, I'm going to hang off this ledge, and then I'm going to tap the gun button while I'm dropping, and not only will he pull the gun out in the air, he will land in a crouch pose with the gun pulled, be ready to shoot this guy in the nads. Ready? See what I mean? Now, if you're playing this on a one-button Amiga, not easy, but possible. Definitely possible. Alright. The next thing this game is going to teach you, and this tutorial level is going to teach you, is automatic jumps. So, that was a very manual jump. The thing below us is a disintegrator. It will just instantly kill you. Okay? I'm just going to slide across here. Right, these electric things on the floor will also instantly kill you. The trick is to get as close as possible, but basically not step on it. Remembering that this is all a grid system. So once you know where you are on the grid, you're fine. This here is a energy generator. So the energy generator can be charged. You can charge 2 things in the energy generator. The first thing is your shield. You can take 4 hits before you die, and that's super generous. It will come very, very handy at the end of the game once we get to the alien worlds. The other thing you can charge, and the only other thing you can charge, is this cartridge. They, again, never tell you that. You've just got to kind of figure it out. So you select it in your inventory. You can see it on the top right there, and then press the use button. Now, again, some of these, that is very, very fast because I'm running it on 8 times disk speed. Right, okay, here we go. We're going to go up here. Now, again, that enemy knows I'm there, but there's nothing he can do because I'm on a different screen. So what I'm going to do is stand about here, pull my gun out. In fact, I might be a bit close. Let's try it. No, I might go. So I'm about here. I'm going to crouch down. I'm going to roll into that screen and just open fire. There you go. Dead. Now, we're going to come back here later. Again, this game's very good at teaching you. You can't go through there because it's low down, but you can roll. Wouldn't suggest rolling because you'll miss that second platform and basically fall to your death. Again, it teaches you everything you need to know on this first level in context with no on-screen commands. It's beautiful. It's just the perfect level. Right. What is it saying I pick up here? What is that on the edge? Could have sworn it said something. Okay, alright, no. Just seeing things. I was going to say, I don't remember there being anything there. Right. So, why did we charge up that cartridge slot? We charged up the cartridge slot to come over here and put it into this machine. Now, as soon as we put it in this machine, a light bridge is going to come up, and that robot over there is going to try and kill us. So what we do is we put the cartridge in the machine, again, very fast. Zip. And we're going to pull out our gun, and we're going to crouch. And we're just going to wait until it makes a noise. There you go. Blown up. I'm just going to run across. Alright, and that's Act 1 of the first level. So, again, avoiding these electric things down here, we're just going to jump over. And go up this lift. And then our very first switch puzzle. So this is where we picked up the holocube. I'll explain the holocube in a second. You're supposed to play it down there, but we didn't. Right. On that last screen, or on the last act, we picked up a stone. I'm going to drop the stone down here. That keeps that platform down there. So we're just going to run over and grab whatever this thing is. Let's find out. Teleporter. Huh. Okay. So we're going to go back. We're going to pick up this stone, even though we don't really need it. There is no picking up stone screen. Although there are 2 other cinematics in this version, which I don't think appear in any of the others either. Every version of this game is weird. Like, no versions are like any other version. We've got, or the ones I'm going to look at are, I'm going to start on the Amiga and end on the PS4. But in the meantime, we're going to look at the Mega Drive version, the Mega CD version, the SNES version, which is god-awful, the Xbox 360 version, which is even worse. What else? We've got other versions to look at as well. Oh, the PC CD-ROM version as well. Excellent. Right. Over here you can see save. This is pretty much the only text that appears, or the only tutorial thing that sort of has wordage on it. So we're just going to say, well, no, you know what? We're not going to save. We're not going to save for one reason. The reason is we're only going to get hit once and we're not going to die, hopefully. Right. He said that now. That the guy down there, the guy at the bottom, he's the guy that's going to hit us. And that teaches us another very important lesson. Right, so we're going to go across here. Okay, and we're going to take one more step, and we're going to jump. And we're going to jump. And we're going to jump. And we're good. Right, we picked up the teleporter. The teleporter was for a dude who was injured. And we were supposed to have already gone and meet him and had a conversation with him. And he would say, find me my teleporter, I dropped it, blah, 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 blah. But we know that. So we're just going to go and give it to him because we need something that he leaves behind. So here we go. We're just going to jump over here and we're going to jump up here. We haven't been hit, so we don't need to recharge. We're We're going to go up the top. There we go. So I have played this game on pretty much every system and finished it on every system on on normal and difficult. But for the sake of, because the only difference between normal and difficult is some of the enemies are just bullet sponges. That's it, really. Oh, and there's some extra ones, but not that many. Right, this is our very first switch puzzle. If I come over here, nothing happens. I'm like, okay, well, I need to get that lift up. Well, I'll go over here. That lift comes up. Okay, so if I step on here, lift goes down. Okay. So, again, you're introduced to these mechanics in a very contextual way without having to have it force-fed to you or a message pop up saying, if you touch this, this will come down. You know what I mean? It's like very, very, very contextual. Very, very, very cool. Alright. Here's this dude. Right, he's going to talk to us. Help, help. There is no dialogue on this, but there is on the Mega CD version, which we will look at next. And boy, is that voice acting good. Still better than the 360 version. Much better than the 360 version. Okay, wounded man. We're going to talk to him first. Help me, young man. I've been attacked by mutants. And I can't walk. Find my teleporter. I need urgent medical assistance. Can do, buddy. I have your teleporter right here, dude. There you go. Right, that one's got music. I don't know why some of them have music and some don't. I think it's a limitation of the floppy disk. Thanks, you just saved my life. He zooms out, and he's left his ID card. I'm gonna pinch that. Okay. The ID card is important. It's not just like a key or something else. It's all about... This whole game is about losing your identity and finding it again. Let's quickly play the HoloCube. Now, hopefully OBS doesn't munch this. I'm really praying it doesn't. But now's probably a good time. So, when we woke up in the jungle, we knocked something off a branch, which we were laying unconscious next to. That was a HoloCube. You go downstairs, you pick it up, it's on the Switch. Let's play that, and you'll see why. Okay, so... Oh, this is going to munch the audio, I notice. Hey, it's me! Hi, comrade. You must be wondering how you recorded this message without remembering it. I was, yeah. I was waiting for me to press button. Good question. It would take too long to explain, and time is short. If you want to save your hide, I can read quicker than this. You must contact your old friend Ian in New Washington. Okay. He'll explain it all there. Good luck and watch your back, because it's my life you're playing with. Okay. Let's get this out of the way right now. It's Total Recall. The film Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is Total Recall. It's also Blade Runner. And it's also The Running Man. Like, those three movies combined, that's what this game is. So, everything about sort of losing your identity, having amnesia, getting your identity back, it's Blade Runner. Not Blade Runner, sorry, Total Recall. It's Total Recall. Like, it's just Total Recall. Even in fact that you've got to go to Mars, you've got to go, you know what I mean? Like, everything is Total Recall. But, I mean, if you're going to rip off three films, Total Recall, The Running Man, and Blade Runner, why not? Just take them. Okay, we're going to run back. So now, he dropped his ID card. We need that ID card. To get through... Essentially, this game, unlike Prince of Persia, which is a race against time, this isn't. This is more of a puzzle game. I think it's important to point that out. This is not an action game. This is a puzzle game. It's definitely not a platformer. Alright. So now we've got two guys facing each other. Like I say, these guys are kind of dopey. But we're going to learn to quick drop. Now, a quick drop is when you pull your gun out first, push it to the side, and then drop down. When I drop down, I'm going to be facing that guy to the right. I'm going to quickly pop him. I'll have enough time to turn around and pop the guy behind me if I'm quick enough. Let's find out. Oh, right. He did get off a shot, but the shot didn't go through. The shot didn't hit me because of animation priority. That is another very important thing about this game, is animation priority. There's a lot of it. Okay. If you're doing certain things, or if you're in certain animations, they will play out before your hitbox has recovered. So, for example, those disintegrators and stuff there are certain animations that you can be in where you're essentially invulnerable, because the guys that made this, Delphine Software, were so sort of anal about their animations and about how cinematic it looked. They weren't going to let anything affect that, including gameplay. Okay, you want to stand about here where this tree is, maybe even just no, actually probably about here where this tree is, because there's going to be a robot on that screen. Oh, that might be a bit too much. Oh no, there we go. Right, let's get out of there. Let's get out. Boom. Right, that's blown up. That's the wrong button. Right, I'm going to put away that gun. And what do we have here? We have a stone. Why would they leave a stone there? I mean, everything is here for a reason, right? I've got 3 of them. They must be important. I've already put one on a pressure pad. What could I do with this other one? Why would it give it to me? Well, let's use it and find out. Right, so he's lobbed it, and now he's confused that guard. So if you haven't already figured out quick drops, you can use that stone to confuse the guard and shoot him in the back. Very, very, very useful. And again, all contextual. They didn't tell you could do that. You just kind of figure it out. Right, I'm walking along this game and picking up money for no apparent reason yet, but all will become clear. Should I take that stone? Yeah, why not? I don't really need it. Can't take it with me. Right, let's go on to the next screen. Okay, those are 2 lasers. Now, we've already... Oh, have we seen the laser? No, we haven't seen a laser yet. So this is where you first meet a laser. I'm going to pick up this key here. Again, picking up all this stuff. Don't really know why it's important, but I'll pick it up. Alright. And I know for a fact there's a guy on that next screen, so I'm going to pull my gun out, crouch, and roll onto the screen, and instantly smack that fire button. There you go. Right, last thing here. Credits 50. Don't really need them, but I'll pick them up. They all say C70. It's just the card it's on. Right, those lasers aren't active yet. That pressure pad over there, you learn, is the switch that turns on those lasers. But we're going to go around it. We're going to go up and over. Credits 500. Alright, so that's all the credits that we're going to need there. Now, because we haven't been hit yet, I'm not going to use that energy machine, energy generator. One thing I am going to do is explain this. So that platform over there, all these platforms are camouflaged, but I grabbed that platform without pressing up. The reason it's there is so on your second playthrough, because on your first playthrough you would never figure out how to grab that platform. You would instantly run to the platform, press up for jump, and you would land on that pressure pad, starting the lasers. What you're supposed to do is run, let go of the direction button, and you have something called an auto jump. An auto jump automatically grabs an oncoming platform, even if there isn't a floor below it, which is what we needed. Now, you wouldn't know that on your first playthrough. You would know that on your second playthrough, and then you've got to try and get past these lasers that are just absolutely zapping you. But again, because we're doing a pro walkthrough, we're not going to worry about that. Okay, almost finished the first level now. We're going to come over here, step on that switch, boop, which again, you press that button, and then walk towards that thing. You learn how pressure pads work. It's just so simple. Alright, we're going to go through here, up here. Alright, and we're going to run. We're not going to go over those lasers. We're not going to save. We're just going to go straight here. Right. Key lock. Let's put the key in. Now, for some reason, only the Amiga version, I think, has this little cinematic in it. I think only the Amiga version. I don't know of any other version that's got that in. Again, all versions are very, very, very different and very, very, very weird. Right, we're going to do a quick drop down here. Kill this guy. Alright, put the gun away. That's that done. And I think the Amiga version only has this cutscene, or this cinematic as well. I think. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. There you go. Alright. This is the only guy that's going to hit us. Because, as far as I'm aware, it's impossible to not get hit by this guy. Or very hard, at least. If I drop down, he's going to see me. If I... Hang on, let's step on the edge. And look, I'll show you what happens if I crouch down. See the way he was going to shoot at my legs? See? So it's very, very hard. If I throw a stone, it's not going to affect him at all. And let's try it. Let's try it. So I'll stand here, grab a stone, one of my many stones, throw that. Don't think it affects him. No, doesn't care. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to drop down, we're going to go into a crouch mode, and I'm going to turn around as fast as I can and shoot him, but I'm also going to get hit, I believe. It's like potluck, wherever the animation priority gets you. Yep, got hit. So, again, that's not teaching us something about this level, it's teaching us about what happens in the next level. It's very important. Again, all this stuff, super important. Alright, let's drop down here. Okay. This is the second laser we're going to meet. And there's these two guys talking. Now, like I said, these guys aren't... Their eyesight is bad, but not terrible. But they are got super keen hearing. So, what we're going to do is we're going to throw a stone because we've already learnt to do that. But then the game's going to teach us something new on top of that. So we throw a stone so we can get them over there. But look. That broke an invisible laser. The invisible laser turns on a very visible laser, which is going to shoot us. So what are we going to do? We're going to crouch down. And now this teaches us that we can crouch all day and it's not going to make any difference. So when we roll, we're going to leave the stone. We're going to roll. Right. And even though we can still hear that laser, this teaches us we can't get shot by it. So we're all good. Alright, coming up on the end of the level here. Alright. So, we're going to speak to this old man. To get to New Washington, you have to jump into this hole. But if I were you, I would use an anti-gravity belt. Where can I find one? Now, I can sell you one for 500 credits. Because I'm a mercenary. So let's give him some money. Because we have 660 credits. Yeah, that was sped up. Again, that's an issue with the floppy disks. Bon voyage, young man. Ooh, anti-gravity belt. Okay. Right, before we leave this level, and there's a big yellow drop down here. It won't kill you this time. We're going to use our auto grab. And we're going to jump over this hole. Why are we going to jump over this hole? Well, what's the game teaching us here? The game is teaching us exploration at this point. There is no need for this to be up here. You know, I can charge my shield, but I don't need to. But why is this area over here that's completely superfluous? Let's charge up my shield. It's the first time and only time we've had to do it on this level. There we go. Don't worry, you'll be seeing that a lot. It's on level 6 and 7. So why is this area here? This area is teaching us exploration. Exploration is the key to this game. It's a puzzle game, not an action game, not a platform game. Once you've worked that out, the game actually opens up. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to jump down here. Yeah! While it loads. Has it crashed? It's the Amiga, we don't know. Hey! Oh man, this is sped up. It's going to go out before the cutscene runs out. Yeah, the music. The cutscene played before the music ended. Oh, here we are at the beginning of level 2. So, level 2. So that was level 1, one of the greatest tutorial levels of all time. Still don't know who we are. All we know is we're going to a place called New Washington to meet our friend Ian. And that was the Amiga version. It came out in, I think, 92 and was a stonking success. Very, very, very good. Like I say, one of my favourite games of all time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end this stream here, and then at some point, probably tomorrow, going to come back and play the Mega CD version, and we're going to play all of level 2, which is the longest level. As far as the game goes, 60% of the... well, maybe not 60. Easily 50% of the entire game is level 2 for some reason. Well, there is a reason, but I'll go into it while I'm playing it. So yeah, so that was level 1. Once I've done the entire 7 levels in all the different formats, I'm going to stitch all of them together into one long walkthrough and throw that up on my YouTube channel. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end this stream. So Flashback, level 1, in the can. Join me again for the Mega CD version. Alright, cool. Peace.